Good morning to all. Today we will discuss about the circulatory system in reference to all these topics. First, we will talk generally about all the systems present in the body. Second, the need for the circulatory system. Third, components of the circulatory system, fluids in the body, blood, its composition and function. So, in general, the different systems in the body are, as we know, digestive system, circulatory system, excretory system, respiratory system, reproductive system, and nervous system, which is the main controlling part. So, circulatory system. First, we come to the need of the circulatory system. What is the need of the circulatory system? So, first we'll discuss about the need of the circulatory system. Why is the circulatory system needed? So, circulation is basically needed for transport of various things from one part of the body to other. For example, we'll talk about in reference to all the systems. For example, digestive system. As we know, the food that we eat gets churned up in the stomach, and then it goes to the intestine from where it is absorbed. After digestion, it goes to the intestine from where it is absorbed. Now, as we know, this absorbed nutrients and minerals need to be transported to all the parts of the body. So this is done via the circulatory system. So we can remember that via the digestive system, all the absorbed nutrients in the intestine are transported to all body parts. Now, second we come to, after digestive, respiratory system. So, respiratory system, as we know, the air that we breathe in oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide. So, this oxygen goes through a respiratory tube into the alveoli, that is the exchanging part. Then there is blood, in which the gaseous diffusion takes place, and oxygen. Oxygen needs to be transported to all the tissues, and from the tissues, carbon dioxide need to be transported to the lungs to be thrown out. So this process of transport, oxygen from the lungs to the tissues and carbon dioxide from the tissues to the lungs for exhalation, is governed by the circulatory system or blood in the circulatory system. So we know about the respiratory system. Now, excretory system. Now, as we know, the excretory system mainly consists of the kidneys, but the excretion can also take place through skin. Thus, the kidneys, what does circulatory system do in excretion? All the tissues, when they use oxygen to produce food, some waste product is generated. So tissues generate some waste product. Mostly this waste is in the form of ammonia, which needs to be transported to the liver, for metabolizing it, and then it is transported through the blood, that is the circulatory system, to the kidneys and skin. From the kidneys it passes out from the urethra and the anal tube, while from the skin it passes out in the form of sweat. So three main need for the circulatory system is usually for transport of food, transport of oxygen, and transport of all the waste products from our body to the outside via the excretory system. Now, as we have discussed all the systems, Now further we can discuss the components of the circulatory system. The components of the circulatory system. Now, what are the basic components? The three basic components of the circulatory system are blood, blood vessels, blood vessels, and the major pumping organ, that is the heart. So there are three major components: blood, blood vessels, and the heart. Now we will discuss about blood, which is the fluid component or the liquid component of our circulatory system. So first we'll discuss about the fluids in the body. So as we know, there are many fluids in the body. So fluids in the body can be of two types. One are the circulating fluids, and the other can be the non-circulating fluids. Now what is the difference? The circulating fluids circulate throughout the body or through an organ, while the non-circulating fluids do not circulate, they remain stationary at one organ or one place. For example, we can say blood is a circulating fluid because it transports all the substances from one part of the body to the other, while for example, you can say the circulating fluid is, one is blood, second it can be lymph, as we know, lymph from the lymph nodes, lymphatic ducts, lymphatic vessels, it is all transported throughout the body. Then we know tissue fluid. It is also a fluid present in the body. This will be discussed later. First, non-circulating fluids. Now, what do non-circulating fluids signify? The fluids that are present mainly on one part of the body. And why aren't they moving? Because they do not have any property to clot. That is, they do not require movement. For example, these fluids mainly prevent friction. In any part, these fluids prevent friction. And what can be these fluids? Non-circulating fluids can be in the joints. One example, synovial fluid, which is present in the joints of a body. And one more example for circulating fluids, we can say cerebrospinal fluid, which is present in the brain. That prevents, this also, like non-circulating fluids, prevents friction in the upper parts of the brain, the membranes of the brain. But this circulates within the brain, so this is a circulating fluid. So now we have completed about the circulating and the non-circulating fluids. So now we will move on to blood. So talking about blood, we can say blood is the fluid component of the circulatory system. So mainly blood. What is blood? Blood mainly we will discuss about its composition at first. So what is the composition of blood? The composition of blood, mainly it is liquid, so it mainly consists of water, that is plasma. 75% it is water, and other may include the cellular components. So most of it is water, and other may include the cellular components, and others, some except these that are also important, are called plasma proteins. So we'll not discuss about these, but they are mainly albumin, globulin, fibrinogen, prothrombin. So we don't have to discuss about these. We'll mainly concentrate on the cellular component because we know all the properties of water. So we will know about the cellular components that define the different properties of blood. So the cellular components of blood mainly has three cellular components. They are RBCs, WBCs, and the platelets. So these are not the scientific names, but they are designated by different names. Like RBCs, they had erythroid origin, so they are called erythrocytes. Okay. Platelets, because they help in clotting, that is thrombose formation, so they are also called thrombocytes. So basically, thrombo means a type of clot. We'll discuss about it. So we can say that they are erythrocytes, WBCs, and thrombocytes. And WBCs, we can say they are called as leukocytes. So as we know, they are all scientific notations. First, we come to erythrocytes. So erythrocytes.